Right. So we're back with building an Arizona-style tournament, and we are in the elim rounds, and things are moving ahead pretty quickly. We're already done with Novice Public Forum, and in the end we had a 2-1 for the Pro Ha and Salaberry. We can take a peek at the status and see what we've got. All right. NPF all done. Yay! We've got a couple of debate rounds, and we've got some other things that are ready to move. If you had a whole bunch of events, you could just look at only debate and only speech. Underneath the status, you can also see, who is where, although these don't really work as much with the test field. What has been entered, what hasn't been, etc. You can get the same sort of information from schemats. But let's take a peek. So we're entering ballots. Why don't we take a look at Varsity LD? So here we go. We're in Varsity LD. We've got the round. Amazing results show up. Those judges were really good. We had 3 negs and an F. And we can move to SEMS. And when we auto-advance, it tells us who are the 4 who won and who are the 4 who lost. And so it's a semi-round, and we can break them. Now, if we wanted to look at the records just to make sure, okay, we don't have, we have a 4-0 hitting a 3-1. If we still had 2 4-0s and 2 3-1s, they probably wouldn't wind up hitting that way. Notice also this one is a side lock because Jessica and Ishika debated earlier. So we can go through, auto-assign the judges. There's only 1 judge assigned there, so we can go here, put 3 judges per section, erase our judges, and then auto-assign them again. Now we've got 3. Or we could just go in and choose a judge not judging. Let's go take a peek at some speech events. Now, in all of the sample speech events that I looked at earlier, we had to go down to the 14th place person in order to break them. But remember that you don't have to. We're looking at the top 12 first. We only jump down to 14 if we have to. So let's look at extemp. And extemp semis, we're going to auto-advance. And here we go. The 12th place person has a cumulative rank of 8. 13th has a cumulative rank of 9. And that's great because we can just break 12, break them, and then looking at our seeding again, the 1, the 2, we want the 3, and the 4 in here. Whoops, where did that person go? The 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4. And the 5 and the 6 and the 7 and the 8 and the 9 and the 10 and the 11 and the 12. Just keep with our FLA AIA seedings. And so now we have a conflict, but it isn't really because there is 2 school BJs and 1 school BJ over there, so that is no conflict there. And if we wanted to, we could track schools, and AM is not an issue, IB is not an issue. We have a BB on each side. We're good in terms of school conflict. So schemat, check the settings. Want to make sure we have 3 judges for this round. And because judges are always a myth, auto assign, and there we go. So let's say that we've already finished our semi, like we have here in Dual Interp. Notice all 6 ballots are in. We need to break them to the final. So we want to auto advance to the final round. And here we have our 12 competitors. Now notice the ranks don't appear to be in any particular order. That's because we go by section and we break equal amounts from each semifinal section. So we can sort them by section here. So here are our top 6 in section 1. We take the top 3. So 6, 11, and 11. And there's a difference between the 3rd and the 4th place finisher in that round. These 3 advance. We get this number from all 6 ranks, dropping the highest and the lowest. And so we can hover over Lee and Thong and see they went 1, 1, 2 in prelims, and then 2, 2, 1 in semis. So we drop the 1, we drop the 2, and we have a 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 equals 6. And we can see Lu and Maluru, they went 4, 5, 1 in prelims and 1, 3, 3 in sems. Drop the 1 and the 5, you've got a 4 plus a 1 is 5, plus a 3 is 8, plus a 3 is 11. And so that's a correct break there. Now, to determine 2nd place versus 3rd place, we go with Judge Pref. And if we were to take a look at the 3 ballots in the SEM, we'd see that Lu and Maluru had a 2-1 Judges Pref over Williams and Glasheen. We don't have any 3-way ties to break here, so we're good. And then in section 2, we see Gilbert and Matthew with an 8, Ding and Chan with a 10, and Durberberb and Reynoso with an 11. So those are the 6 that would break. And we see that we have, when we look at the seating here, 1 through 12, section 1, number 1, section 2, number 1, all the way down to section 2, 3rd speaker. And that is our 6th place person. And so we break them. And then just making sure, 3 judges in finals. And there we go. And we auto-assign our judges. So let's see, impromptu, we're done with semifinals here. Auto advance to the final, again, we can sort it by section. 7, 10, and 10, and that's our 3rd place person in that section, so that's good. 8, 9, 12, and 12, but it goes with Judges Pref. So we can see that Lu had ranks of 3, 4, and 3, and Srivastava had 4, 5, and 2. So Lu does win 2-1 on the Judges Pref. Again, no 3-way tie. Maybe we'll see one over the course of the tournament. Maybe not. The one area where we're going to have to get a little bit of guidance is in Congress, because we can determine who the top people in each chamber are, but doing Congress like this, where there are just 2 sessions, using the settings to turn this session 2 into a final to shut the tournament down doesn't work quite as well. There is a method, I'm sure, but for right now, we're just not sure how it's working. If you want to look at the Congress results in more detail, we can go into Results and Reports, and do a section chamber audit. And this is a fun little report that breaks Congress down the way that we like to see it. So here we see that Krish Danny is the top person in the chamber using this number, 1722, a 26 and 26. That's a tie for third, broken on a 3-2 judges pref. 9 beats 8, 3 beats 6, 2 beats 4, 1 beats 3, 7 beats 9. 7 plus 1 is 8, plus 4 is 12, 18, 26. There we get that number. And we can just go all the way down and check and see. And there don't appear to be too many funky breaks, a few judges pref breaks here and there. Hey, we've got Wing and Wang, and they have a 2-2 judges pref because they tie with a 9 here. But then a 1.47 reciprocal over a 0.75 reciprocal because Wing got a 1. And so we can continue through the remainder of the tournament and get some final results. Let's use the magic of the tournament in order to complete all of those final speech and debate ballots. And through the magic of computer technology, the tournament is over. We can go into status, and look, everything is done except for Congress because I need to figure out how to shut Congress down after only prelim rounds. In fact, we can even go into tabbing and enter ballots, and look, all of the checkered flags are there except for Congress. So now we can go through and audit our results. And the way we do that is through the event display, and we can look at original oratory as of finals. And we can see Sebastian Areola had a 151, a 442, and a 116. Again, we dropped the 1 and the 6. So 1, 4, 4, that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and that gives him a cum of 18, dropping the high and low from start to finish. Then we have 19, 19, and 19, and what it says is that Rohit Ganjam wins the three-way tiebreaker here. And so we can take a look at what Rohit has, and in the final, he had a 5, a 3, and a 2. And Vicaria had a 2, a 2, and a 3. And Gian had a 6, a 5, and a 1. And so, as we're doing our relative rankings, as we do for a three-way tie, that doesn't seem to come out the way that I think it should. I'll have to do a little bit more investigating about this three-way tie. So 5, 3, 2. Because it looks to me like Vicaria would have the better ranks with a 2, 2, 3 in terms of the three-way tie over a 5, 3, 2. So I'll need to explore that a little bit. This would probably be a case where we would have to go in and make an adjustment to the final ranking there. But no doubt, Brian John with a 651 would be the worst of the three. So we'll have to check that. The only thing I could think would be, nope, it wouldn't be that either. Anyway, there is always a flaw when it comes to tiebreakers. But here is how we would look at this, and we could look at impromptu as of finals. And hey, we have a three-way tie here. I was bemoaning the fact that we hadn't had any, and now we have a whole bunch. So let's check and see. Prev Kumar has a 7-4-2. Okay, but we dropped the 1 and the 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and that's his 17. And Lou has a 3-1-1, and Roberts has a 1-2-6. So doing our relative rankings, to me, the second place person, Lou, should win this relative ranking. So we will have to double check that three-way because that doesn't do what I think it is supposed to do. So we'll have to take a peek and probably put out some revised tiebreakers for that. But in terms of the ranks, we can see start to finish that it works. So once we've got all of that together, and once we've corrected things, we have our report, and we can go through and we can do an award script, and we can limit it to the top 6. We can print our award script out, and I've taken too long and it's no longer logged me into the tournament, so let me go back to the Arizona practice tournament. We could do an awards report for all events. In reverse order, top 6 entries. And there we go. In drama, in 6th place, 5th place, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Duo, extemp, humor, impromptu, and then novice public forum, our top finishers and semifinalists. 1st and 2nd, 3rd and 3rd, and then it has the quarterfinals. Or we could just do an award script for our debates, limiting it to the top 4. There we go, finals, finals, semis, semis. And then, to calculate sweepstakes, our final sweeps, calculating everything, we could view that, provided that we are sure that everything is correct. And it takes a while to think. And school number 1 wins with 124 points, and we can see the breakdown of how all of their entries did. Now, Congress isn't in here yet because Congress, we still have to figure out how Congress shuts down, but we can also check final sweeps per person to see how the top competitor in the tournament did. Because I know some tournaments do run a top individual award. And so waiting for it to calculate, it's thinking, and Lucas Chan and Vale Chen, both from School 10, in 8 events each, calculated 42 total points. Okay. And that's because they were also in every duo event. And so once we clear up just a few of the quirks and eccentricities, then we should be good to go. In the end, you can go through, go to Web Publish, and after the tournament, we could go event by event and Web Publish, or maybe it's not under data, maybe it's under reports. There's an option somewhere, and we'll find it, that allows you just to publish everything. Oh, right there under results, Web Publish, and you can do all debate events, all Congress events, and all speech events, and just publish everything. And then everybody will be able to see your results and get their ballots. This has been a very long look at how to build an Arizona tournament. And I'm sure that we will have some corrections and things as we go along the way, learning how an Arizona tournament really will function on Tabroom.